Hey, grand rising and bright blessings to all of my pedal patrons. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate that. It is a 3 numerological energy value day on this Mars day. We have 3 transits that we're going to talk about that are entering the chat that will be impactful for all of us as we are heading into this new moon in Pisces, getting ready to be with us tomorrow. So it's going to be very simple today, but still save it and hit the 2 times because you know how I like to talk. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to for all signs, and I will do cardinal, fixed, and mutable after I go through the chart. But this is an emotional sort of a several period of days, okay? Piggybacking on some of the stuff I said yesterday. Today we have the energy of Mars, okay, having a conjunction with the moon in Pisces. We have Mercury having a conjunction with the moon in Pisces, but we also have the moon having a trine with Jupiter, which is one of the co-rulers of Pisces. So it's very Piscean energy, very much. It's about the idea of identifying where we might have been out of balance, but internally with our emotions and even some decisions that were made from an emotional perspective. Today, you get the really awesome opportunity to evaluate internally for yourself, because you have to be truthful. Where did I do X, Y, or Z? And this is something that is going to be supportive for you as you're working on your new moon wishes and the opportunity of how you're trying to reset this energy for the new year, which technically starts on Friday. But let me pull up the map, show you what it looks like, and then go into each of the energies so that I can help you understand it from a little bit of a different perspective, and then we'll keep it pushing. Here we go. Okay, guys, look at the simplicity of this chart today. Love it. Obviously, yesterday we know that the moon moved out of Aquarius. Hello, where's my finger? The moon moved out of Aquarius and into Pisces yesterday. And so we are looking at this huge stellium of all of these planets built up here in Pisces. Sun in Pisces, Mars, Mercury, North Node, and the Moon. So the first actual transit that's going to take place today is about 11:47 a.m., just before lunchtime, and that is where the Moon itself is going to have its direct conjunction with Mercury. And so Mercury, which is also in retrograde, we do know this, is still going to bring about the energy of let's communicate, let's talk about this, can we have a conversation, let's have a conversation. That's what that's going to be about. Again, a lot of it is going to be internal to you, and what the universe is going to ask you to do with that is, again, make a determination for yourself. Be truthful. Where did I possibly make a decision in the past that was maybe not the best? It was a little bit out of balance. I did the best I could with what I had at the moment, but now I have the opportunity to set the pace for what I want it to look like in the future. We don't have to should or would or could have on ourselves. We just have to identify what that energy is so that you can use it, transmute it for something you want in the future. So we have that 11:47. Then later on this afternoon, about 4:47, well, the actual Mars frequency here has its own separate conjunction with that moon in Pisces. Okay, so we have the rush energy of Mars. It can be a little assertive, okay? It can also be very aggressive, really wanting you to pay attention to what that looks like. So this is the day that the universe is asking you to create a transformative opportunity for yourself. Really be about it today. And then the final transit doesn't even happen until almost 10:15 p.m. tonight, a little bit later, and that's where the moon itself is having its trine down here with the moon in Cancer, the Jupiter that is in Cancer. So those 2 water signs sort of get together and have a little bit of an interesting conversation. And we're still coming off the heels of this T-square that we were experiencing that I discussed yesterday. So at the end of the day, what it means is the day is going to be spread a little bit, but I want you to recognize there are plenty of opportunities with these free-flowing trines, which are creating this. We can shift through this, right? We're riding our surfboards and we're going over the different energies that are coming up out of the sea or whatever else it is that you're doing your surfing. but it's asking you to identify. Don't be afraid of going deep into the emotional energy today if you need to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's where the true gold is in them there hills, is to go internal. So every person, in my opinion, needs to be really hitting the 639 hertz frequency, which is a very heartfelt frequency, to open it up. No one but you is going to know what's truly in there when you're sitting in meditation, and you can honor the energy of maybe where you know you're out of balance from an emotional perspective. But what are you willing to do and identify for going forward? And then you'll have that energy push to really start to work through it. So think of like a kettle on a stove. It's the steamy energy, and you just have to sit there and you have to steep in it. So let's break it down very simply today in the order of the cardinal signs. So Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer, for sure. The ideal for you guys is to identify a little bit more specifically where you have made a judgment call, where you might have been a little bit too fast and furious. You did the best you could with what you had at the moment. Very likely it has something to do with resources. Could also include finances. Could also include some body things that need to be able to shift for you. But the universe is going to want you to draw that back in and use that power to set the pace for going forward. It's not always easy, but especially if it has things to do with resources, you have no excuse, because this week, I've already shared this with you, Prosperity Series stuff. You have no reason to not claim some of these beautiful replacements, replenishments of some of these resources coming back into you, especially if it's financial. Now, if you are a fixed sign, Taurus, Scorpio, we're looking at our Leos and our Aquarius. We talked about this in early February. All of you fixed signs are being asked to look at all the shenanigans that are coming up, right? Find that proper anchor point so that you can set the pace for the new year that's coming forward. But what does that mean for you? Well, for you guys, what it means is using your judgment today as best as you possibly can, and focus on collaboration with others. Some of you are starting to do it, but the reality is you're going to need other people to assist you. Maybe it's for a temporary project. Maybe it's a 2-week, a 4-week, maybe it's a 6-week, 6 months sort of a project, or some sort of a situation where you need to have somebody else assist you to get something over the hump. We got to push this up the hill together. I just need you for a little bit. A lot of the times the fixed signs, and I can attest to this, you think you can do everything by yourself and you'll do it better, because then you don't have any excuses and nobody will screw it up if you're taking responsibility for getting it in there. Yes, but, or yes, and sometimes you need help. You need assistance. So be thinking about collaborative energies or people that can start to work with you, or putting yourself in the mindset and in the heart space to be able to accept and offer, possibly for some of you, assistance in a different way. Use your brains, okay? How can I best help? Okay, even if it's short term. And then, of course, if you're a mutable sign, mercy, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and of course, Pisces. Commitment, education, growth, gentle, soft growth, because this is where you're wafting in. Now, a lot of it is going to also include the people that are in your neighborhood that are helping you, but it also has to do with long-term goals. What do you really want to see yourself grow into? Where do you see yourself? And you need to be able to sort of lock down into that, but you can't escape trying to move this energy, because you guys have one of the easiest potentials of coming up with this process for yourself long term, right? So those are the basics of the basics of the basics. But what the universe is asking us all to do today is emerge. But the only way that you're gonna be able to have that shoot come out of the ground is to go within. What seed within here needs to be honored? What needs to be watered? If there's some weeds that need to be pulled in sort of fashion, you got to take care of that. So today is a great day to sort of get those ideals listed down and then start focusing on that, so that as you are working on your new moon wishes tomorrow, you're doing it from a whole perspective of, my heart is settled. I sort of know what it is that I need to be able to jump into next. So I hope that's very helpful for you guys. And as always, may you receive everything it is that you need, everything that you want and desire, and may you continue to find the beauty in all things. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye for now.